I think everything is working. Oh. Okay. Oh, hey, my darling. Mwah. I can never find the thing. Oh, here it is. Mwah. Okay, I can finally begin. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I closed the game by accident. Hold up, hold up. There we go.
Super Hexagon.
Hopefully everything is going good. No. Options. All the way. All the way. No, that's better. Okay, let me just double check that everything is good with the audio. Okay, sound good, sound good. Oops. Sound good. To switch back. Performance mode. There, and there we go. Okay. Now I can finally begin. Hopefully today will be the final day. I can finally beat this level.
Begin.
Because if not, I'm gonna be really sad.
Game over. Begin.
I don't even know if I want to beat it on arcade mode as well. Just beat it here and then be done with it forever.
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Okay, hold up.
Begin.
Okay, now we're in a more comfortable position.
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Square. Game over.
I hate that. I hate it so much. Oh, hi, Donut. Doing 727. Hello, welcome. How are you doing?
Game over. Begin. Line.
Break.
Game over.
Doing good? Good, I'm glad. Me, I'm doing good as well, thank you. I'm just starting the stream and having my
Game over.
my hopes high for
Begin.
hopefully beating this level tonight. Because, oh my god.
Game over. Begin.
I've been playing this level for at least like a week now, and I just cannot get it done with.
Line. Game over.
Like, I just want to be done with this level and with the whole game.
Line. Game
Oops.
over. Begin.
It looks painful. It is pretty painful. The thing is, I
Line.
kinda know the patterns, which really helps. The problem is getting good luck with like
Game
the
over.
pattern.
Begin.
What do you call it? Transitions?
Game over. Begin.
Hey, with the screen spinning is also really hard. But like when you spin the cursor on the
Game over.
opposite way that the screen is spinning, it's like gonna go slower, but if you spin it in the same way, it's gonna go a little faster. So it's also really painful to adapt to those like speed changes. Like you're doing a spin and the screen direction changes on you, and then you're like, what the heck?
Line. Game over.
Ugh.
Begin. Line.
But the music's pretty good at least.
Triangle. Game over.
Ugh.
Begin.
The music is pretty good.
Line.
The game really only has like, I think like 5 songs total, but they're all pretty good. This
Game
one's
over. Begin.
this was my favorite,
Game
even if it's on
over.
a
Begin.
really painful level.
Line. Triangle. Square. Hexagon. Game
Oh no, dude! I got nervous. I didn't know what I was. Wait. Oh, heck. I was close. I hate that I get close when I was
begin.
in freaking 40 seconds.
Game over.
At least it's on the final level, yeah. It was a good. It was a really good run.
Game
But I
over.
messed up. Wrong. I need to last 60 seconds.
Begin.
60 seconds counts as like the completion of the level. And so far my record is 55 seconds.
Game over. Begin.
I remember that was a really painful fail.
Game over. Begin.
I know, I was pretty close. And the worst part, when I failed that, it wasn't because it was like a Harry Potter or anything. I was dumb and I
Game over.
got like a brain fart and didn't know what to do. Those kinds of fails are the absolute
Game
worst.
over. Begin.
It's okay. A minute is not that bad.
Line.
I mean, I've beaten Final Freddy's 2 where I had to last freaking 7 seconds.
Line. Square. Game
Oh
over.
my gosh, I moved too much to the left.
Begin.
It's okay, I'm at least getting like good runs compared to the last stream where I was just like not getting it at all.
Triangle. Game
Really?
over. Begin.
Any more consistent? Yeah, that's right. Consistency is always a key.
Game over.
I remember on my first attempts I always had a problem with a certain pattern. This pattern. I just didn't know how to get through it. But, like, once I got like
Game
whoops,
over.
got the rhythm down, I can get it pretty much every single time. It's always a matter of not screwing up like I almost did.
Line.
That was a really close one.
Triangle. Square. Game
Oh,
over.
come on.
Begin.
I also hate that when I accidentally move a little too much to one side.
Line. Game
Ah.
over. Begin.
Getting hypnotized looking at this. That's kind of what I felt like. Like when I saw gameplay of this game for the first time, I was like, man, this is like
Line.
a freaking acid trip or something.
Triangle. Game over.
Like this,
Begin.
playing this game is the closest I can get to an LSD trip.
Line. Triangle. Game over.
You know, I'm kind of confident that I might be able to beat this tonight.
Line. Triangle. Game over.
Every time I get like full spin pattern, it's always like a heaven sent.
Game over.
Oops.
Begin.
I'm scared that again when I get past 50, I'm gonna die because of a stupid thing.
Game
Like
over.
that.
Begin. Game
Oh my
over.
God.
Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
No, oh my
over.
god.
Begin.
I also hate that when I'm a little too much to one side and I realize, but it's a little too late to do anything. Oh. Oh, wait a
Game
minute.
Over.
Oh, thank you for the bit donation, Donut.
Donut 727 cheered. X1. All while I'm a foot to sleep now.
Begin.
Yeah, oh, thank you so much for the bit, Donut. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a great rest of your night.
Game over.
The 1 cent.
Begin.
Have a good sleep, Donut.
Game over.
And thank you for the good luck too.
Line. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin.
I didn't do
Line. Triangle. Game over.
Oh, why did I take the scenic route?
Line. Triangle. Game over.
Really?
Begin. Line. Game over.
I
Begin.
break hard.
Game over.
Scenic route again.
Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin.
Okay, I need to stop doing that. I actually
Line.
stop.
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Oh my god.
Line. Triangle. Game
Fuck.
over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
So
over.
this
Begin. Line.
oh, that was a
Game over. Begin.
pathetic.
over. Begin.
even more pathetic. Like, oh my god.
Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Game over.
It's only been 21 minutes.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle.
Got a real close up.
Game over.
Again, really? Oh my fucking god.
Begin. Line. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle. Game over. Again. over. Begin. Line. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again. Game over.
Again,
Again.
I just stop hesitating.
Game over.
Wait.
Begin. Line. Game over.
My fingers are not quite doing their job, also I'm sweating like crazy.
Game over. Again. Line. Triangle. Square. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again.
The mid.
Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
But of course.
Begin. Game over. Again. Line. Game over.
This is the lol that I'm not gonna do an arcade, man.
Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Game over. Again. Game
It would
over.
be so much easier if
Again.
the screen didn't rotate the opposite way.
Line. Game over. Again. Game over.
My I hate those fucking fails, right? Either move too much or too little.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game
I don't know why I'm so
Begin.
special, like easily tiltable today.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Fuck.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Line. Game
What the
over.
fuck?
Begin.
How?
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over.
The fuck?
Begin.
What is the audio glitching?
Game over. Begin.
Fucking really?
Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Why is the fucking audio glitching? What the hell?
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Hexagon. Game over.
My fucking god, no!
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. over. Begin. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
What the-
over. Begin. Game
Really?
over. Again. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Oh my god, I
Begin.
moved like 1 fucking millimeter.
Line. Triangle. Game
Fuck!
over. Begin.
I was waiting for the screen to rotate the other way, and it never did.
Game over. Begin. 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 Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. over.
Why did I?
Begin. Line. Triangle. Square. Pentagon. Excellent. Hexagon.
Oh my god, I did it! Oh my gosh, yes! Oh, I thought I was about to die. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I was so freaking nervous. Yeah, this is a trippy ending. Oh, it's going through the colors of all the stages. Ah man, I really don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the arcade mode at this level. I was able to do all the other ones, but this one, I'm not really sure if I can though. No, but it's showing all the patterns. This is a way better ending than the one of the normal Hexagonest stage. Oh man, I can't believe I did it. I thought I was gonna be stuck on that freaking level forever. I don't really know if I want to try the spiritual sequel. That is
Wonderful.
well, that was a cute ending. Aww. Thank you for playing. Of course. No, I don't want to rewatch the ending. I'm fine, thank you. But it was a good game. It was a good game. I don't know if I want to or feel like doing the arcade mode, but otherwise it was a fun game. Very frustrating. I kind of wanted to rip my hair out a few times, but it was a good game.
Begin.
That's it. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? On my second attempt. On my second freaking attempt.
Wonderful.
Wow. That's gotta be a new record. Time to put my name in it. Well, now that is absolutely everything in Super Hexagon, both in normal mode and arcade mode. Finally done. Well, just like I said, it was a pretty fun game. I liked it a lot. The last level was extremely difficult, but it was pretty satisfying to beat, which is the important thing. I don't know if I'm gonna try open Hexagon. Like after seeing how long the last level take me, I don't know if I'm ready to take on open Hexagon. I might take a little break from this type of game and then I might try it out. But we'll see. We'll see. I had fun. Also, speaking of Terry Kavanagh, I am ready to take on VVVVVV. Well, that's gonna be all for today's stream. A lot shorter than I thought, honestly. But anyway, thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye 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 bye. Sleep